What stood out to me from watching your highlight video, man, was just the length that you have at the tight end position. And that is going to come in very handy for you. And we'll talk about that here with the strength training and stuff like that. But that is going to be huge for you. And I definitely see that as a big upside for you. Now, my suggestions for your highlight video are the following. First thing is to add an information slide at the very beginning. The best way to go about this is to go on Canva. It's free. You'll go to a slide, and on that slide, you want to put your name, school, graduation year, position, height and weight, X account, email, and phone. Okay, put that information on the left, put a picture of you on the right, download that, and then upload that to the very first thing on your highlight video. And the reason we want to do that is so that way all of your information is in the exact same spot. Okay, they don't have to go try to search for it because a college coach's time is very short and valuable. And I have seen them, and personally, I've had to do this as well. When I can't find a kid or find him on X or find his phone number, I've had to pass on because they don't have the time to keep going to search for that stuff. Okay, so have all that stuff there. That's really going to help just the information side of being able to get in contact with you. Okay. Next, removing plays, okay? And this is more in the non-highlights, all right? And this is more anything that doesn't showcase your strength or transfer to the next level as much. And some of it is more like being able to help. We want to try to help move that needle for you, okay? Of seeing those plays that maybe, okay, this one's, it's all right, not as good as some of your other ones. So let's take that out. There's kind of a reason behind each thing and just kind of just to help elevate that. So maybe say now move that needle, you're a 10. Boom, we take a couple of these plays out. Boom, now you're a 5 or a 3 on a coach's board, okay? That really will kind of help out. And so they kind of give you an example at the 41-second mark. And first thing I want to say before I show these clips, this is not a bad play. Okay, they are not bad plays whatsoever. When I was as a former offense coordinator, sometimes things just happen and you take 6 points any way you can get it. Okay, so but just because of the bad snap, the defensive guys kind of lose track of you and you just kind of fall in the end zone. Just it's more not as much as a football play. It's a play that will happen, but not one that's a routine type of deal. Okay, so go ahead and take that out. And the other one, at the 4:30 mark, you were just slower off the snap, and it kind of hurt your blocking a little bit, but just not wanting to show you being slow off the snap. So that's why one I would take out as well. Okay. Now, next, I would remove the background sound, okay, because we don't want to have anything that's going to distract that college recruiter from evaluating the film, okay? He's watching 60 to 100 kids in a day. He's sitting in a dark room, lamp on, listening to his own music, okay? And sometimes when they get those distractions, like background sound or music or captions pop up, it kind of throws them out of their zone. They get off their rhythm, okay? And when you get in that zone and you're recruiting, you just want to keep it going, okay? Because you've really got a good feel for the kids, what you're looking at, how you want to rank kids on the board and everything else. So make sure we don't have that on there, okay? Next, go into your sequence of plays, all right? For you, we want to go. This is just more your flow, okay? We want to go through touchdowns, then your explosives. That's anything 15 to 20 plus yards down the field. Then we want to hit your run blocking, okay? We want anything from being a wing, someone in the backfield, a hand in the ground, whatever it is. Get some different variations. You've got a lot of clips being spaced out too. Include that as well, okay? And then pass blocking. If you ever have any pass blocking clips that you're staying in Help Pass Pro, add those in there as well. And then your remaining offensive highlights, all right? And this is more anything that's not necessarily an explosion or a blocking clip or anything like that, but still showcases what you can do. All right, what you can do well and help with things on that. All right, now within each of these sections, we want to have the best play to start each section to capture the attention of the coach early and to keep him watching. Like I said, he's watching 60 to 100 kids. They're going to give you about a minute, maybe minute and a half. If they don't see anything within that first one, they pass. Okay, so we want to make sure we put good clips in to keep them engaged and keep them watching. All right, now all these ones I have timestamped. These are what I would start out with. Okay, so with that being said, at the 4-second mark, okay. This is a great clip here to start out with. You did a great job. Like I said, touchdown. They want to see 6. Getting under. Okay. Great job. Catching with your hands and getting in the end zone. That is fantastic right there. That's exactly what you want with the little zone slip right there. That's perfect. Okay. Next, going to the 16-second mark. Okay. It's actually the play right after this. Okay. Again, great job here. Okay. Showing that explosive, being able to run. All right. Little post over the middle. Okay. Dragging guys, showing that strength. All right. We're just going to, with that length is going to help out. Okay. Next, going to your run blocking. Okay. Going to the 54-second mark. This is the clip I would start out with for this section, okay? And the reason being, A, they want pancakes, anything physical and violent they want, okay? Whether you're split out, a wing, hand in the ground, whatever it is, that is a great job there running that counter, that GY counter right there, okay? Great job pancaking that guy, putting him on his back. That's what they want to see. And then I would go then to the 358 mark. Now, the reason I'm saying this, let's go here, is because your hands in the ground, okay? They're moving, you see so many times now in college football, they're moving that tight end everywhere based on what offense they run. Okay, so if you can show more versatility like you're showing of being at a wing, being the hand to the ground, now boom, maybe after that, go to being split out and receiver pancaking somebody because you had some of those on there. All right, but those are the ones I would start out with in that stance. All right, next, go into your main offensive highlights. Okay, 29-second mark. This way I can kind of show you an example of what we're looking for in this. All right, boom, great job. Okay, going up and getting the football, corner tries to undercut. All right, now it's not a 15 to 20 yard play, but it's within that 12, 10-yard range, still showcasing what you can do, showing good plays. Okay, that's where I would have that there. Now, within each of these sections, you only want to have maybe 3 to 4 to 5, maybe 6 clips. All right, now you can have more. Okay, maybe you've only got a couple of pass pros. Okay, pass pro blocking. All right, and then you can have more run blocking or explosives or something like that. Okay, and like I said, you want to have the 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 clips in there, however you have it rearranged. but we want your film to be 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes on that. All right. So because, like I said, after a minute, they're going to decide whether they want to keep watching. And sometimes you get to 5, and they're kind of done watching. They don't want to keep watching anymore, but we want to keep them engaged. Okay. That's why you got to have it organized how that is. So add an information slide, remove a couple of those non-play/non-highlights, remove the background sound, change up the sequence like we talked about, and overall, this will provide a more dynamic highlight video for college coaches. Now, after going over the game film feedback, let's take a look at what divisions you should target. Okay, I'm basing this off the most recent highlight video, which is exactly what college coaches are going to do and where the athlete can receive a scholarship right now. The film we just watched, that's what I'm going off of. This is a current evaluation opposed to a projected evaluation. Okay, this is based on a few criteria. First thing is graduation year. All right, as soon as they get out of spring ball, boom, they're coming to recruit, start their spring recruiting. Okay, and so we got to make sure we start getting this thing rolling to kind of get engaged with it. So when they are coming, we know they're coming to our school. All right, then for you, they're going to look at your size, your foot speed, your long speed, and your strength. Okay, those are things they're going to look for in a tight end. All right, now with that being said, the levels you should look at today for a scholarship are D3, upper D3 to lower to mid NAI, possibly that upper NAI as well. Okay, now you should start getting interest and possibly offers from these college coaches at these levels. And if not, you need to start the communication process with them through emailing them and calling them right now. Okay, we've got to get the ball rolling because, like I said, once they're done with spring ball, boom, they're on the road. So we got to make sure we're getting stuff in front of them. You start making sure you're getting their name out there through social media, following these coaches on the next, DMing these coaches. Okay, you redo your highlight video, boom, send it to them. Okay, and the reason we really need to send it to them is because with camp season coming up, we got to know if these coaches like us or not to be able, if we want to determine which camps we want to go to. Okay, because if we're going to a camp and a coach really has no interest in us, we're kind of not putting our money to, we could put our money to a better use in that stance. Okay, save us money, put it to a different camp. All right, but here's the deal too, with the social media and the highlight video and the camps and everything else, you got to make sure you're marketing and branding yourself in the correct way, doing things on and off the field the right way as well. All right, but with these camps, okay, you go to the right camps, you introduce yourself to these coaches, okay, you're going to start developing that relationship. Okay, and the reason we want to do that is so when you send them that mid-season highlight, they're going to know who they're watching. They're going to remember seeing you do things at camp, translate to your video, and then see it on the film. Okay, because you're going to have that relationship built with them. So that is going to be very, very valuable for you in that. But here's the deal: how can we also attack these levels and get better? My suggestion to improve your game that translates to college football and possibly a higher division are the following. First thing is going to be strength training. Okay, got to make sure we're adding good weight. Got to add explosion. Got to add power. Okay, got to be able to drive dudes back coming out of that stance. Can't stand straight up. Got to drive them. Okay, let's say you're split out a receiver and you got a corner that's going to come up and jam on you. You got to get his hands down and get around him and be able to bully him with how big you are as a tight end. Okay, you're going to be going over the middle a lot. Linebackers are going to try to wall you. You can't let your strength has got to overcome that. Okay, going up and getting the jump ball, strong hands. Okay, working on your foot speed, dot drills, ladder drills, cone drills, getting out of breaks. Okay, top of the route stuff as fast as possible. Okay, got to be able to get off a press from a corner. You go to being your hand in the ground and tight end. Okay, the old school offensive lineman saying feet as quick as a hiccup. Okay, so you got to get those quick feet. Long speed, working on that track work, speed training. Okay, that's going to work on our flexibility a little bit, getting our knees picked up. You get called for a deep ball because hey, it's a jump ball. I got a big tight end out there. You got to be able to take the top off and go run by the guy. Okay, developing a receiver craft. Okay, working on that jugs and tennis ball work. Okay, working that hand-eye coordination with when I coach receivers. Every small drill we did, we finished with the catch, whether that was with a football or tennis ball. Okay, work on developing that deep and quick game route tree mastery. Work on running routes outside. Work on running routes inside. That's really going to help you and an offense coordinator being able to determine what he wants to do, okay, where he wants to put you on the field, and then if they got to base the defense game plan off of you, that's going to make it very much harder schematically, okay. And then lastly, I'm going to add this in there is working on flexibility, okay. This is going to help you in the run. This is going to help you in the pass game because this is also going to be part of that pre and post training stretching. If you guys don't do it as a team, you got to be doing it on your own. That's part of that individual work, okay. Because like I said, it's going to help with the flexibility, okay, the knee range and being able to bend the knees and drive and run, okay. This is also going to help prevent injury. Because your best ability is your availability. If you're dinged up and nicked up, that's going to hurt your chances of video, which will then hurt your chances of mouth. You go to the college ranks. If you're dinged up and nicked up, that just hurts you on the depth chart. Okay, so you've got to make sure you're taking care of your body now and you carry on with that. But here's the deal: these improvements are what a tight end coach, or offensive line coach, or receiver coach is really going to look for. Okay, so you got to double down, do all these things, hit it hard, and if it translates to your video, this can help you level up your evaluation and possibly have an opportunity at the upper NAI to lower to mid D2 level. All right, but Dax, at the end of the day, man, everything will come down to your individual work, your outreach, as well as your marketing on social media. Okay, it's going to be huge for you. And that relationship building with college coaches. The position you're in right now with getting ready to be in this go time for you, those relationships are huge. Right? Which is why the next step is your athlete interview. You're going to get an interview with a coach and get coached on communication and your interviewing skills, which is critical for those conversations you're about to start having with college coaches. So make sure you watch the video beforehand to be ready to go. If you have any questions, we'll be able to answer them at the end of the interview. Thank you.